A new day, a new problem to solve about algorithmics. Today's problem is going to be called Roman to integer, and it's considered to be an easy problem to solve. So it describes as the following. We're going to have a function called Roman to int that's going to take an s, which is a Roman number, and we need to convert that number into a normal number that we know. And so what is a Roman number? A Roman number is basically a number that's represented with these letters, and every letter has a value. So for example, I is a 1, V is a 5, X is a 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1,000. And so if you just like realize like there is like a pattern here. So the first two letters from 1 to 10, the jump is 5. So 1, 5, and 10. And from 10 to 100, so the jump is 50. And from 100 to 1,000, the jump is 500. And so in order to represent the letters in between, so for example, 2 or 3, it's going to be I, which is 3. But the moment we're going to represent 4, normally we just like 4 I's. But instead of doing this, the rule is to write the IV, which is basically 5 minus 1. And the idea is, the idea of the rule is we have 6 numbers that follow this exception or this rule. So 4 is basically 5 minus 1. The 9 is 10 minus 1. So basically 10 is IX, 4 is IV. The 40, the same. So basically we just the same. 40 is XL, so 50 minus 10. 90 is XC, which is 100 minus 10. 400 and 900 basically are 500 minus 100, and M, which is 1,000 minus 100. So CD and CM. So if you realize there is a rule here, basically, every time there is an exception, the letter on the left is smaller than the letter on the right. So IV, I is smaller than V. IX is I is smaller than X. So basically, let's go through some examples to understand a little bit more about how we're gonna write the algorithm. So we're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna do a loop over the letters, letter by letter. Every time we see a letter, we're gonna take the value. So I, for example, here is a 1, and we continue another 1 and another 1. Total is a 3. We go to the next example. L is a 50. V is a 5, a 1, 1, and 1. Total is 58. So what is an M? M is 1,000. And here we're going to start seeing some exceptions or the rules that we just discussed. So what is a C? C is 100, but we need to check the next element. Next element is 1,000, which is bigger. So this is the current, and this is the next. The next is bigger than the current, so we have to combine these two by M minus C. So M is 1,000 minus C is 900 here. So 1,000 minus 100. And then we jump from here, because this is the current, we jump by 2 to this one. So what is an X? X is a 10, but we look at the next element, which is a C, which is 100. So we have to combine these two because this one is bigger than this one. C is bigger than X. So C is 100 minus 10 is 90. And then again, because we found an exception, we jump by 2. So we have an I, which is a 1. And then we are finished with S, with the string. And then we have all just to combine. So 1,991. And that's the result. So basically, as you can see, The idea is every time we have to check the current number and the next number. If the next number is bigger than the current number, we have to combine, or basically combine the value and add it to the result. So let's code this. So first I'm going to create a map that contains a representation of these values. So basically the key is the Roman number and the value is its value. V is 4, 5. X is 10. L is 50. C is 100. D is 500. And finally we have an M, which is 1000. And then I'm going to create a variable result that's going to contain our result, and I'm going to initiate it with 0, and this is what I'm going to return at the end of the function. And then I'm going to create a index that's going to point at the first element, so 0, and the last thing I need to do is a loop on the string s, and the idea is while we are having the I within the string, so s.length, we keep going and we keep adding. So every time I need to take two things, so const the current value and the next value. So what is the current value? So it's the map of s of I. So let's understand this a little bit. S of I is the letter in S. Basically this is S. And map of the letter is the value. So current is the value of the letter. What is next? We have to check that we are not over the board. So we have to say I, we have to check I plus 1 is still smaller than s dot the length. If we are still within the length of the string, we have to say return map of s I plus 1. Otherwise we just say the next one is 0. And here we have to check. We have to say if the next one is smaller than is bigger than current. If that is the case, we add to result next minus current. And we have to jump by how many letters? So we have to jump by 2. So I need to be incremented by 2. Else, it means we just need to add the value of the current number. So result plus current and I plus plus to go to the next element. And that should be it. Very simple. Let's run this program to check. And there you go. All the tests they pass. Let's submit. There you go. So I hope that this explanation was easy enough to understand. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel so YouTube basically understand that this content is good and promote it to other people. Yeah, see you in the next one.